Have you lost any family or friends to MAGA and Donald Trump?
Luckily, no. Like, I would not associate with MAGA friends or family or anybody in that direction.
I want to react to this video because if you know me, you know, first of all, I'm not really a political guy. I really don't want to talk about politics. But if you know me, you know that I'm not a liberal at all. I believe in Jesus, you know. And I want to watch this video because this video is really telling about the mindset and the behaviors of the average liberal. And it's something that I called out, but you can really see them expose it themselves in this video. And so that's why I want to react to this.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
I have. I don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
I would not associate with MAGA.
I think we're starting to wake up now. I'd say we, because it's still my family.
I'm still working on trying to bring them back around.
Sadly, this is something in our current climate that we can all relate to. It is losing someone, whether it is an associate, a friend, family member, business partner, etc., to MAGA. And how our relationships with these people that we love dearly have been strained for going on 10 years. So what I decided to do was ask Chicago if they have lost anybody to MAGA and what that is like.
No.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and Donald Trump?
Oh, my sister is a MAGA person.
Really?
Yeah.
And how has that been?
Well, we're still difficult, but we're still nice to each other.
That's good. And when do you think she started to break away politically?
Oh, I'd say that was probably 20 years ago.
And what led to that?
She moved to a more conservative part of the state, and I think she got in with friends who were more conservative.
I like this guy, even though, you know, he might believe liberal things. He has a family member who is conservative, and I mean, they're still family. You know, that's really how it should be. But a lot of people are going no contact with individuals solely because of their political differences.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and Donald Trump?
Friends, yes. But I have a high school friend that she was at our wedding and everything, and she posts just horrible stuff.
Like what?
Any meme that comes by from the right wing. And so I just have had to cut contact, you know.
A meme? Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like a meme? Hey, man, I've lost a lot of a lot of people have unfollowed me and, you know, have got mad at me for my beliefs. And it doesn't really bother me. Like I genuinely don't care. I half of these people I don't even know. Like, I really don't know. I think people care more about me than I care about them, if I'm being real. But I've noticed, hey, my follower count is going down. What the hecky? You know, but also I've noticed random people who start to follow me because they actually, I guess people tell them about what I say and I think they like it or something. I don't know. So
I didn't overtly say anything to her, but we've just sort of slipped away from her, and that's too bad. Because we've always been Democrats, but we had friends and family members who were Republicans. It wasn't a problem. There was never a problem.
Well, my father was a conservative Republican. I don't think he'd be a MAGA.
There's a difference, of course.
It's so divisive. So what can I say?
What was the...
And she says it's so divisive, right? And this what I'm saying. There's so much propaganda, but then we have to really ask ourselves, is being divisive inherently a bad thing, right? Like, these are questions that people don't really think about, right? Because if you were to look at it, there's figures who are divisive. Jesus Christ is divisive during the time while he walked on this earth, and even just preaching about Jesus is considered divisive, right? Now, I don't know if this you know woman is Christian, but it's like, bro, being Christian and promoting your beliefs is inherently divisive. But if you know that Christianity is the truth, which it is, Jesus is the only way to heaven, being divisive is just the part of the game. And so being divisive isn't inherently wrong. Now, if you're intentionally, you know, calling people slurs if they disagree with you, or, you know, trying to incite people to get mad intentionally, like, that's not maybe the best thing to do. But just standing on the side of truth is inherently divisive, and so it's not a bad thing.
Breaking point where she decided to go further right.
I think it started in the first term, but the second term, I think a lot of people started digging down deeper to defend it because they've already put themselves into this, and so now they're grabbing onto any right-wing theory to say, yeah, we're right. I was right to do this. We're saving the country.
Right.
And what do we say to that?
Have you lost anyone, family member or friend to MAGA?
Thankfully not. You can imagine that it's a lot tougher for black people to be that in this country, so I'm grateful that I don't have any family members that are that far gone or that.
So once again, this is more propaganda, right? Where it's like, if you're black, right? Because black people are just like, y'all are like minions, from like Despicable Me. Black people are like minions where you're just a bunch of you're just like ants, and you all are a hive mind, and you all think the same, and you're supposed to act the same because you're all black. But it's like, like, I don't know. I just don't go for this, right? I just inherently don't go for this. I don't know why it is, but something in me, I just don't go for that liberal stuff, guys. I don't know why, but it's just like, it just annoys me hearing this, like, oh, 'cause, I'm black, so, I don't really have to deal with that. As black people, it's like, what about me? Oh, you and Uncle Tom, cuh? All right, man. I guess so. All right. And she just holding the flag, like, God bless America. What flag is she holding, bro? Like, she just standing there. She really doing a good job, honestly. But let's keep watching.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
I have, and it's a little unsettling, but now they're starting to see the light here, as they're seeing that with all the whole Epstein files, and when their communities are being impacted as well, because ICE is not following any processes there. They're violating our civil rights.
Yes, they are. I went to Broadview. I saw it.
I might talk about ICE later, but one thing that's also common amongst liberals is like, it's almost like this inherent unseriousness about liberals, where you're at a protest for, I guess, like the government. You're protesting the government. I guess it makes sense why you're dressed as Luffy. Because I guess Luffy is similar to that. He's a pirate. He's against authority. But I just think it's kind of unserious when you see people show up there with colored hair, dressed up as anime characters. Someone was dressed as a chicken. I don't know if I might have edited that part out, but someone was dressed as like an inflated chicken or something. It's just like, what are y'all doing? Like, is this just LARPing? Is this just like a joke? Like what are y'all really doing? I don't know. That's just me.
It's just a slow degradation,
And have you lost any family or friends to MAGA and Donald Trump?
Luckily, no. Like, I would not associate with MAGA friends or family or anybody in that direction.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
By the way, I'm gonna keep interrupting, right? And this is a pattern of behavior, right? Where it's liberals who are the ones who cut off conservatives. 9 times out of 10 is liberals who are like, no, he's a MAGA, she's a MAGA, I have to cut him off.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
No, I haven't, but my grandfather was stopped. Thankfully, he is a citizen, but just the idea that it's so close to home, and just to know that, like, he can't go to the grocery store, my friends can't go to the grocery store, they can't go to church, they can't feel safe even in their home. It's like really hard to like go to sleep at night, because at the end of the day, I never know if one day he will go to the store and he won't have his ID on him, and then he's gone for the rest of my life.
So he's had.
And so it's like, first of all, you deviated from the main topic, right? You want to talk about your grandpa, but your grandpa maybe they asked him questions, and because he's a citizen, he was free to go. And so it's like, I don't get it. Like, your story actually goes against the narrative. Like, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah, your grandpa got stopped. Maybe your grandpa might look, real Guatemalan or something. And it's like, oh, are you here? Are you from here? And like, whoa, that's racial profiling. But at the end of the day, if he's a citizen, then he's fine. That's a thing that happens. If you fit a description of a suspect that's committed a crime, you might get detained. And then they'll ask you questions. And then they'll be like, oh, this guy has nothing to do with it. And then they'll let you go. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. That's just my logic. I'm not like an emotional person. So you can't emotionally manipulate me into believing something. And so just logically speaking, this is something that happens. Obviously, some innocent people might get temporarily detained or questioned, but if they're innocent, bro, they're going to be fine. And so you literally proved that with your story. I don't know, but let's just keep going. But I know y'all mad. Some of y'all mad.
Had to start carrying his ID with him.
He takes his ID, he takes his social, and now he takes his passport. So it's really hard because it's like he's been here for 40, 50 years. So it's like this is all he knows. This is all he's ever known. He's worked for the city. He gets pension from the city. So it's like for that to happen and then like for him to still get stopped, him still get questioned, him still get manhandled is like, what is America? Like, what have we come to? You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard.
Have you lost any friend or family members to MAGA?
No, I mean, I'm here because like I'm kind of the privileged, few around now, the white guy. So I mean, I haven't had any. I mean, I'm sure I grew up in this city. I went to Catholic school in this city. I'm sure there's many people that I know that I'm just not in contact with anymore that have gone and aren't around. Like my parents live in the Midway neighborhood, and that's where I grew up. So I mean, just to see this stuff and to come back, just to be driving around and just see it's everybody uses the term dystopian, and that's exactly what it is.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
I lost a lot of employees. I have a cleaning business in the Chicagoland area. So I have a lot of employees that are undocumented, but they're just looking to work to support their families.
You might get arrested, bro. What you opening up to? What you trying to be vulnerable? It's like, man, how did you have employees that weren't U.S. citizens? It's like, how did you? Hey, you don't know if somebody from the IRS is watching you. Not saying I am. I'm just a regular guy. But you don't know if somebody who's working for the IRS is watching this video right now. You don't know. So you gotta be careful, bro. Admitting to crimes, really. I mean, but I don't know. I don't want to. Hey, it could have just maybe we misheard. But hey, man, you at least it wasn't you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to start hiring some real people and pay them a livable wage.
I'm doing cleanings, and a lot of them just didn't make it to work one day.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
Yes, both of my parents are veterans, and I have watched them slowly go down a MAGA pipeline. They got divorced. My mom actually started becoming more liberal, and I was shocked until she got married again to another MAGA person. And they now watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of these videos, and I'm just like, this is not what you're supposed to see. This is not how you do things. And they're good people normally. My mom has been very accepting of trans individuals from my school. She uses their correct pronouns. She's for them being okay. But then she goes and votes for people that don't. And I don't think they understand the concept of how they are hurting people with the way that they vote.
What are they watching on YouTube, if you don't mind me asking?
They're watching Yoez. Yoez with an exclamation point. They're watching me. I'm just kidding. Nobody's watching me. But hey, let me skip ahead. But that's good, man. Good for his wife or her mom. Good for her mom. She almost got liberalized. She almost got liberalized, but a man came to help her out and redirect her.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
Luckily, no. I grew up on a farm, which is rising rural Indiana. But my mom, my grandma, my family, my immediate family, they're very progressive, and I'm very lucky.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
I 100% have. Family members, I don't really know. I don't think so. I really only talk to the same few family members anyway. Friends, yes. And to that, I just say good riddance. Like, this isn't, one of those situations where it's one side thinks, my taxes should be going here and this side thinks my taxes should be going here. This is my human rights. Like, this is my rights as a black man. This is my rights as a gay black man, like, in this country. And I'm watching them getting stripped away in front of my eyes. So if you're not on the same side as me, you're against me. And I can't be friends with someone that's actively against me.
Understood.
So
what was the breaking point? What was the moment where they went further right?
It's so crazy is I didn't even realize I lost many friends or anything like that until I posted something about Charlie Kirk. Oh. And I ended up finding out from it was one of my college fraternity brothers. We all have dinner once a month, and he was telling me, he was like, hey, when I went to Indianapolis, our old college friend was like, yeah, I had to unfollow Tony because he went too far because he was cheering on Charlie Joe celebrating it. And it was funny because I don't have time to show you really quickly, but the two messages that I put about it had nothing to do with celebration, but it had everything to do with letting people know he was not a good person while he was here. These are the
So for you, the people that unfollowed him, right? Because as I said earlier, it's usually the liberals who unfollow the conservatives. But in this case, people unfollowed you after somebody got shot in the neck, and we all witnessed it. And then you were like, hey, but he's actually a bad person, by the way, guy. Like, which is kind of a weird thing to say after we witnessed something so traumatic.
The things he said, like he actively believed that that black people were better off in slavery and that the segregation was abomination. And I was like, I don't.
Just like completely misrepresenting what Charlie Kirk said, by the way. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, he liked segregation, and he thinks he likes slavery, and it's like, what? Like, y'all just be making stuff up. Like, it's literally so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like, this is the average person who's like, oh, I hate Charlie Kirk. Like, you think he believes things that he doesn't even believe. You just have a misrepresentation of him. I have a video on Charlie Kirk, by the way.
How can I feel any type of grief or remorse or anything like that for someone that feels that way about me?
You weren't celebrating it. You were using his own words against him.
I used his words against him, and I posted on there of like, this is why people are reacting this way to his death. And apparently I lost a couple of followers from college. So
wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay.
Have you lost any family or friends to MAGA?
Yes.
Yeah, why'd you vote for
Yes.
35?
You
just did.
It comes to a moral issue with me. It's not a politics issue. It comes to morals. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm an emotional person. My students may not know my politics, but they know my politics. They know how I am. They know that what I represent. I wear T-shirts all the time that represents humanity, that represents loving each other, supporting each other. So the way I talk, the way I engage with people, it's always been they know my politics. They know how I am. And I think you can have conversations with Trump supporters, but ultimately at the end of the day, they're not in my orbit. I like to surround myself with people who believe in things like human rights, things like gay rights, things like, women's rights. I just want to surround myself with people that let people just live.
The way they describe like a conservative person, like you think they're talking about like Lex Luthor or Thanos. They're against women's rights and human rights. It's like you think they're describing a supervillain. It's like, man, you talking about me, right? But it's just so funny, right? And she's a teacher, right? And she's explaining how it's like, my kids know my politics. I don't really say it, but they know. It's like, this is the average teacher. Liberalism is it's running amok in these public schools, even private schools, and it's an interesting thing. But yeah, obviously as I said earlier, I just wish we could have like a real deal spiel conversation and come to an understanding. But obviously some people, fundamentally, it comes to the fact that a lot of people, they hate authority, they hate their dads, and they hate God, right? And that's the root of it, because a lot of these beliefs that they have, I think it would change fundamentally if they really were to seek God authentically. And when I say God, I mean Jesus Christ, the one true God. And I also would love if this guy, what's his name? Rick Strom, he should start talking to conservatives, like do interviews where you talk to conservatives and ask them what they believe. And you'd be surprised to find out that nobody's going to be mean to you. It'll be maybe like some weird guy, but most people would love to explain what they believe, even knowing that you don't agree. And you probably would learn a lot. And that's something that's unique to conservatives compared to liberals, right? Because if you look at someone like Nick Shirley will go to a No Kings protest, or like a Portland, he'll go to some weird Antifa protest or whatever. And the moment they find out that somebody disagrees with them, like Nick Shirley, for example, they're like, oh, you're a Nazi, you're a bigot, you're this, we're not going to talk to you. They try to block off the camera. They try to, blast copyrighted music to affect his recording and all this type of stuff. And it's just, I'm not saying that as someone who's obviously conservative. I'm saying that as a reality. Like, there's a stark difference between the behaviors of the average liberal and the average conservative. And I think it would really open your eyes. And so I don't know if he'll watch this video, but I really hope that he speaks to conservatives. But ultimately, I know I'm yapping, but ultimately, it doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal. What matters is if you put your faith in Jesus Christ, because we're all going to die. We're going to go somewhere when we die. And so the only way to heaven, the only way to have everlasting life is through Jesus Christ. So I don't care if you're conservative. There's conservatives that I'm like, bro, you don't believe in Jesus. So it's like, we're not really on the same side. You know, you need to know Christ. That's the most important thing. Right. And so that's the main thing. Put your faith in Jesus Christ. That'll more than likely turn you into a conservative. You'll stop being liberal at the very least. And I think a lot of things will just improve. Right. But thank you guys for watching. I know this is a long video. I just yapped. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, watch my other videos. Bye.